Hi, I'm making this video so that I can help you see all of the various ways that you can screencast to share with your teacher everything you've learned about specific content. So you're going to need to go to your Seesaw application. You can do this on your iPad and you can just navigate to the Seesaw Class app, or you can go on the Google Chrome browser to seesaw.me. So we're going to go ahead and reopen Seesaw and make sure that you navigate to the specific class that you are trying to do your work for. You can navigate to this by clicking here on the left, Student Account. And then this should open and provide you with a list of classes for which each teacher might have a Seesaw class available to you. So once you are in your Seesaw class, there's lots of things that you can do with this program. So we're going to click here. We're going to click the big green Add button. And once you do this, again, the easiest way to do a screencast to show your teacher what you know would be using this drawing feature. So we're going to click Drawing. And once you're here, you're going to have an option of various pens at the bottom of the screen. On the right-hand side, you can choose any color that you might want just by simply clicking on the rainbow to change the color. And you can see how easy it is to write on the screen. Of course, on the bottom right, we have an eraser for which we can simply erase all of our content. Now, I like to use this feature for various topics. So the first one, I think it would be easiest to apply would be for retelling a story for littles in elementary class, really for any grade level up through middle school. You can have a student read different parts of a story and then draw an image from parts of the story. Maybe they need to go back and reflect on the main characters and the conflicts in the story, the rise, and the various story elements that they've been learning about in class. You can have them draw all of these using the drawing tool. And then simply, they could also go ahead on the left-hand side, and they can choose text so that they can type the name of the story right over the top. They can relocate this and they can change the color of the text as well, or they can then choose the microphone button here on the left. Once they click that, it's going to start recording in 3 seconds. So at this point, they can go ahead and recall the story, tell the story and all of the elements to the teacher to be able to demonstrate their mastery as required by the content. Now, I'm going to go ahead and click Stop. In the very right-hand corner, we have the Done button. Once I've clicked that, you can see that it has saved as a movie. So at this point, they can go ahead and recall the story, tell the story and all of the elements to the teacher to be able to demonstrate. So you can see that at this point, we only have audio over our drawing. So a better way to do this, I'm going to click the Delete button, is to actually go into that same drawing feature. But at this point, instead of drawing first, we're going to use the drawing, the record button on the left. Again, this microphone button, and we're going to start recording from the beginning. So in math class, if I was trying to demonstrate my mastery of adding or subtracting fractions to the teacher by screencasting, I could simply hit the recording button. It's going to start recording in 3 seconds. And then I could simply go ahead and do my math problem here and demonstrate what that means to my teacher. When I click Stop and click Done, in this instance, when I click Play, and then I could simply go ahead and do my math problem here. So you can see the live video of the work being completed in process as opposed to audio over another image. Let me show you another way to do a screencast here in Seesaw. So I'm going to click Delete. And this time we are going to just bring in some photos. Maybe we have a project on a certain historical event, a concept in science class. So in this case, we might already have images. At that point, we can go ahead and save the images to our device. And then in the bottom left, we're going to click Upload. When I click Upload, it's asking where to find these files. I'm going to go ahead and click Photos because I've already saved them on my device. I'm going to choose Recent. And Seesaw allows us to go ahead and choose up to 10 images. If we go ahead and click it here, however, it's only going to allow us one. So at the very bottom of the right-hand side of the screen, you'll see where it says Add More. I'm going to click there. And now this is where I can choose up to 10. So I'm going to choose 1, 2, 3 images, and then click the check. So now, just like before, I have my drawing board, but on the right-hand side, you can see that I have 3 different slides. I can rearrange these slides by dragging and dropping them. And then I can go back to the first, which I have here. I can even choose to still use the drawing tool and draw over the top of the image. However, if I go ahead and click the record button on the left, it will start recording in 3, 2, 1. And then you can show your teacher everything you've learned about the story of Apollo 11 and the first men on the moon. The only drawback to this type of screen recording, however, is that as the recorder, you cannot flip through the slides, but the viewer will need to flip through the various slides and images to know when to advance the photo. You may want to indicate this with a simple sound of a beep. Buzz Aldrin and Neil Armstrong were 2 of the first men on the moon. They made this trip in 1969 through the Apollo 11 launch. Beep. Neil Armstrong is credited to be the first one to step foot on the moon and hang the American flag. When you're finished, you're going to click Done in the top corner. And now you can see we have this screen recording. And when we click play, we will still have our audio, but we will have to manually flip through the slides as indicated. And then you can show your teacher everything you've learned about the story of Apollo 11 and the first men on the moon. The only drawback to this type of screen recording, however, is that as the recorder, you cannot flip through the slides, but the viewer will need to flip through the various slides and images to know when to advance the photo. You may want to indicate this with a simple sound of a beep. Click check when you're done. Choose your name, and then click the check to turn in your work. Now, there are so many different things that you can do with the Seesaw screencasting tool. So we're going to do one last thing. In this case, instead of preloading the images, you might have something that you've been working on. It could actually be a test that you've made some errors on. You need to show your teacher you've learned how to make the corrections and what you did wrong. In this case, we've created our own story and we want to go ahead and share that with our teacher. So we're going to click the photo button this time. And this time the camera opens up. We're going to take a picture using one of the green buttons of our story. And now, just like before, we want to do a screencast. So before we start talking, we're going to need to click this microphone button here on the left. I'm going to erase that. And here we go. As the storyteller, I could start telling my story as soon as the countdown begins. One cold, stormy night, the knight came out for revenge. He was in a bad mood the night later. He killed 17 men that night. Click done when you're finished. And then this is an easy way for you to show your teacher the different types of writing that you've created, and then cast your voice on the top when you hit play. One cold, stormy night, the knight came out for revenge. Click check when you're done. And then click your name and then click check to turn it in. Now again, there are so many possibilities using the Seesaw screencasting tool. Just make sure, whatever you choose to do, once you've pulled in your image, taken a photo, or put in slides of your very own, you make sure that you choose this microphone recording tool before you begin your chat. I hope this helps. Have a great day.